In the hierarchy I talked about at the beginning of this video, I said that rear mount is the worst position that he can be in. When I'm on his back here, he can't see me. My hands are close to his neck, so if he screws up for even a second, I'm going to finish the fight. He can't hit me, really. I mean, he can maybe clip me here, but I can do way worse things to him. And especially if we end up face down here, it's absolutely terrible for him. Because now I can use gravity, I can use my forearms, I can use my elbows, I can hit him here, and he's really, really in trouble. So I'm having a bad day. He's ended up on my back and he's trying to choke me. I want to protect my neck. Again, we're in this home alone posture here. If he's coming round one side particularly hard, trying to get my lapel, I might switch both hands over to block that side. I put this hand here and I'm blocking on top. It's usually his top hand that's going to choke me, whether it's a rear naked choke, a sliding collar choke, a short choke. This is the big danger, so I really have to protect that. Either here and here or here. As I'm grip fighting, which is essentially what this is, I'm trying to control his hand. If I can pop it over to the far side of my head, this is great. If I manage to get so far, I have to watch out really only for one thing. I have to watch out for him stepping over my head and armbarring me. But that's okay, because here I've got to watch out for a whole bunch of stuff. If I manage to pop it over here, I know what his one attack is going to be, and there's some fairly simple ways to shut this down. So if I'm here, I'm going to drive down to this side. And I'm going to really be pulling him in here. I'm not going to give him the room that he needs to step over. I'm going to be pulling. And I'm going to be climbing. See how I'm here? Climbing. I'm making a fold in his gi. And I'm working my way up it. My goal ultimately here is to grab his head. If I can grab his head here and here, now it's fairly easy for me to turn out and come to the top, maybe get to half guard or the top of half guard, maybe even pass, but pretty much anywhere I end up is better than where I was. So we'll do that again. We're here, hands up, he's coming in with that top hand. I'm going to capture the wrist, I'm going to capture the elbow, I'm going to pop it over my head. You see how I moved my body down a little bit and I pushed up? Now I pull down and I go up to tighten it. So down and up, down and up. I take this fold here and I start climbing up and I start driving into him. The ultimate goal being to get his head. Once I get his head here, it's very easy for me to turn out. Another escape. This is more for the over-under position that we talked about. At all costs, I don't want to go to this side. I don't want his choking hand to be on the bottom. I call this the pillow. His bicep is the pillow, my head is resting on the pillow. I'm going to go to sleep. If we're here, and I go away from the pillow, I'm still in danger. If I really screw up here, he can still choke me out. But it's a lot harder for him to do this. So I fight to get off the pillow, and I'm controlling this arm. Now I'm going to try and put my head to the ground. Normally, when you're rear mounted, you're keeping your chin down. Well, this is where you start breaking that rule. We're here, I arch back and put my head on the ground. Once my head is on the ground, I try wiggling sideways until my shoulder is on the ground. Once my shoulder is on the ground, I'm going to wriggle sideways until my hip is on the ground. Don't move here, okay? This is what I'm trying to do. Now, in reality, okay, we're here, get my head off the pillow, put the head on the ground, shoulder on the ground. As I go here, right around here, every jiu-jitsu guy in the world will try and come up to full mount. We're here. Which is an improvement from where you were, but this still isn't very good for you. Let's go back, please. So you know that that's what they're going to do. So we're here, head on the ground, shoulders on the ground. As I'm going for hips on the ground, he will come up to mount. So I start pushing his leg here. come up to mount. And at least, come up. At least I should be able to get to half guard. I want to get away from the pillow. Go to this side. Head on the ground, shoulders on the ground, hips on the ground. As he comes, I'm going to push this knee. And I'm going to escape my hips. And now hopefully I end up in a decent half guard position, or maybe even a full guard position. Your other escape, and we talked a little bit about this, is to use the footlock. Don't count on this, but it's nice when it happens. If he's inexperienced enough to cross his legs, you have a choice. See how his right leg is going over his left leg? I can either cross my left leg over his right leg and then cross here, or even triangle, or I can cross my right leg over his right leg and go here. This, see, left, right. If I now go right, left, and I arch forward, that twists this foot. It's more powerful, but it's more dangerous. If you're in the club, training with friends, what I suggest you do, if he's got left, right, you go left, right over top of that. Now it's just grinding on his Achilles. It still hurts, but it's not going to damage anybody. The way you can sometimes set that up is you're here, you're fighting for grips, you're moving, you really move your hips. And he forgets for a second that he's not supposed to cross his legs because he's trying to stay on your back. As soon as he does, you cross and you arch.